Very good question. Thank you for that. The first thing I think we need to do is when we talk to the legislatures in Charleston to try to bring jobs to a rural area. You know, I grew up in a small town, like I said in my beginning statement. I think what we need to do is we need to talk with the farmers, get back into the agricultural part of things. Our farmers in this area can raise crops that they can eventually sell to help gain money with them, you know, to put in their pocket. But as far as manufacturing jobs and things of that nature, we definitely have to get quarter H completed. If we do not get that completed, the manufacturing jobs are not going to hit in this area. I'm a history major, working on a history major, I should say, from Fairmont State College. And in this area, yeah, it is a big historic area. You got Minnehaha Springs, you've got Wongo, you've got different areas that are historic in nature. So not only can we use the tourism part of things, but we have to find a way to bring jobs to the area that will provide a stable economic future for folks. And again, as far as small business owners, I believe that if we could cut or lower the small business tax, you would see small businesses wanting to come in and open up shop. Right now, there's a lot of business owners that have told me throughout the district that within the first 5 years, they're going to know whether or not they can stay open just because of that tax. You know, if you can give them that tax break so that they can open their business, you know, 5 years down the road, they may say, hey, I might be able to hire 10 more employees. And if they can do that, you'll see the economic growth here in West Virginia once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hartman.
Thank you. I think that one of the biggest deficits that we have as far as economic development goes is our manpower. I served on the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee a couple years ago, and we did listening tours around the state, and the biggest complaint that business owners, existing business owners, had was the source of qualified employees. And I think this gets back to education, but I think we have to work on that manpower issue. I think Randolph and Pocahontas County, and if we include Tucker County, I think because of the tourism and the arts in this area, that we can get a lot more benefit out of tourism. As far as wood products goes, we have to protect our wood products industry. We have just now Greenfield Cabinetry in Elkins is expanding, hiring 15 to 20 more people. They may expand their building, and I think we have to take care of what we have and make sure that wood products has been very good to us. In fact, Randolph and Pocahontas County, if you took out the sawmills and the wood products industry, we're in really bad shape. I think we have to protect what we have, and again, I say that the lack of qualified workforce is the biggest problem we have as far as economic development goes.
Thank you. Mr. Eisner.
Infrastructure, infrastructure, and infrastructure. I can stop my answer to your question right there. That's the thing that we have to improve if we want to expand West Virginia's economic prosperity in general. If we want to attract new businesses to this area, specifically in Pocahontas County, we have to work on the issue of the high-speed internet. Without that, businesses simply won't come to this area. So much of business is now conducted online through websites, through the way that they purchase their materials, the way that they ship and sell their materials, the way that they communicate with their customers and with their suppliers. If we don't have high-speed internet and that crisis solved in Pocahontas County, then I don't think that Pocahontas County is going to develop economically over the course of the next 2 to 4 years during the next couple of legislative sessions. We also have to fix our road system. You're not going to attract the type of manufacturing jobs that we'd like to see. You're not going to fill the industrial park up at Edry with businesses if they can't ship their products out of here on the road system that we have currently in place. We've been working on Corridor H for an awful long time, and we've talked about it an awful lot, and I know that there are, federal dollar components that go to that, and, issues about which route it takes, and a fight over that, and we have to solve that problem, and we have to make sure that we improve our infrastructure, both from a roadway perspective and from a technological perspective, if we're going to have businesses come to West Virginia. And, again, back to my original point about education, I think Bill's right to the extent that we do have to train a qualified workforce. We have to make sure that vocational education is included in every school, because not every job requires a college degree. Not everybody needs $50,000 in student loan debt to come out and be a plumber, or be a construction worker, or be a contractor, and those are high-paying jobs that we should all respect.
Time, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Kyle.
West Virginia for the last 4 years has lost jobs. We're all aware of that problem, and we have to stop that bleeding. We have to create new jobs and work vigorously to do that. This is one of the areas where I feel like I'm most qualified. I own a small business in Randolph and Pocahontas counties. Over the last 12 months, I've put on, I believe, 5 new employees. I understand the hardships that small businesses face today, and I believe we have to remove the barriers that prohibit small business from growing. Small business is one of the engines that drives our economy and drives our job growth, drives our employment in the community. I believe we have to promote tourism. As I've said in the past, we have a beautiful state. Just today, as I was driving around Pocahontas County, I got on a back road and there were 12 people with cameras just photographing our cattle and our beautiful green grass that's growing here in the spring. People come here for all different facets. They're not just here to ski and ride the railroads, but we have many different things that we have to capitalize on and resources to grow our economy. And with the right leadership and the right thought process, as I believe that I have, we can grow this economy and capitalize on our resources and get additional revenue and jobs into our community, which fixes a lot of the other problems that we have with the budget and education. And as I've said, I believe this is direly important that we select the right leadership with business knowledge to lead us into the next 4 to 5 years.